Well, I am once again back here at the flight park. I just spent the past 4 days in American Fork, Utah. I actually found this really great parking space next to my gym in American Fork. I found it looking just on Google Maps. I'm telling you, Google Maps is the great place to look, to find places to park. So I wanted to be there for a few days, but I didn't want to kind of like overstay my welcome there. You don't want to be in a spot for too long that you catch attention, but just, it was a perfect location. It was next to a business's big parking lot. It was next to another parking lot. There was an apartment complex there, but it wasn't too close. It wasn't. So it has gotten smoky here. I have a friend up in Montana who was sending me some photos of how smoky it is up there. The cold front came through and has really cooled it down, but it's brought a lot of smoke with it. So I just decided to come out and take a quick walk since it's actually cooled down quite a bit and it feels nice. I was gonna go up to Flight Park, but I think I'm gonna stay here one more night because I've got to do some laundry, and I am also wanting to do, just over there is a Home Depot. So I'm gonna do one thing on the interior tomorrow that I really want to take care of in terms of organizing the workspace. It feels really cramped to me, and I have an idea for something that I'm gonna try and do tomorrow. So, and there's my gym. You can see how smoky it is off in the distance, and I can actually smell it. So I figured I would come out for a little bit of a walk tonight. So I've gotten really adept at looking on Google Maps for street parking, and there are just certain telltale signs of certain types of streets that you can park at. And it just turns out that next to a gym that's in the chain that I go to had just this perfect place. They tend to be kind of quasi-industrial streets and have a big parking lot on one side or a field, no homes. There are just certain things that you look for. It's like, this is a good street because there's a business going in, but it's not occupied. So this street right here, which has no parking restrictions of any kind posted, would be good. There's a fast food place over there, so it would be kind of noisy, but I sleep with earplugs in at night, so they don't usually bother me too much. But around the corner, it's even more secluded. So I'm gonna risk one more night here. The street that I'm walking on would probably work also, but anytime I go someplace, I always scope out in advance on Google Maps, and I just look at Street View and I figure it all out. So that's what I'm gonna do tonight. I'm just gonna go out and take a walk. You can see off in the distance how hazy it is. That's from the wildfires up in Idaho and Oregon and some in California. dog is here all the time. It was here last year. It belongs to somebody and it just runs around looking at people. It's so fun. So there's Home Depot. There's another RV there. I don't know if it's staying, but so I've come to Home Depot. I want to try and engineer something for this area. When you start living in an area, you begin to realize there are sort of pain points or stress points or inefficiency, and this table has a lot of it. I primarily sit in this area, and what I'm going to do is look for a board that I can put across here to extend the table, so I can put a fan up there and I don't know, just make this area a little bit more efficient. So I want to get something that's strong but doesn't add a lot of weight to the RV. See if that happens. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. Something like this. That may be too wobbly. Or this. That might work. I can cut that down pretty easily. This is a little bit more expensive. Feels slightly more strong. I don't know. This is heavy. This might be the trick. It's kind of wobbly. I don't know. Because once I cut it, I can't return it. This, actually, that may not be too heavy once I cut it down. And I need some clamps. I just don't know if these small ones are going to be too small, or if I need to go up a size. Oh, I don't know until I try it. Okay, well, let's see if this this works. This is the part that I don't know. Oh, that's not going to work. I mean, that barely fits. When I add that, crap. Whoops. Yeah, I think this is going to work. It's really ad hoc, but I wanted to add that crossbar there, which fits right in underneath this in the cushion. So when I'm sitting there, my arm just gets to rest on it. It was driving me nuts when I was sitting here. My arm had nothing to rest on. I do think now that I have that shape worked out, I'd like it to go all the way to the back, and I'm gonna have to cut out a little bit to fit this thing in L shape. But I think what I'm gonna do is buy another one and recut it so that it extends all the way to there, and then I can put a fan or something right there. But I don't feel like doing that today. I think this is gonna work out just fine as it is, as a temporary thing of extending the desk, if nothing else, to allow my arm to rest there. And the great thing is this is just perfectly shiny and easy and to clean. I don't have to paint it. I was thinking of putting a piece of wood there. I was gonna have to sand it down, but I don't have to. So I have some other plans with this area because I always have miscellaneous electronic devices, and I think I want to build something that I can just sort of hang them there, like an IKEA rack of some sort. So that's going to be a thing that I'm going to go to IKEA and look at some solutions there. This was something that was really bugging me about the original RV faucet. You can see it's low and short, and they want you to use that. It would come to about right here, and you've got to get dishes underneath there. That's the way my previous RV was, and it drove me nuts. So what I did was I got a potable water hose that was 10 feet from the RV store, and I just cut it in half and spliced it together. And then I just got this from, let me turn on the water pump. So I can just do this. And I can change the types of output right there very easily. And so this is so much easier. It still requires kind of using one hand, and I've got to engineer a way that I can maybe mount something like this. I've got a couple of other enhancements that I'm planning on doing, including putting a backsplash here. This is definitely a better enhancement. Now, the first take that I did, this tape that I used, which was like Gorilla Tape, it didn't hold, and it started leaking, and it wouldn't hold pressure there. So I removed that when I was in Heber, got some super glue, and put a bunch of super glue around to seal the joint, to weld the joint sort of. And then I put this other type of tape that I had gotten from Home Depot, which so far is holding. Both of those things are holding the pressure. So that was one of the things I did when I was in Heber, was engineer that. I have a couple of other ideas that I'm going to try, including some way of mounting this, because I can change these right here. And look at that. If I can mount this and just have some way of... So this is just going to be another way of investigating it. Other possibilities. I know I could probably replace this. That'll be something I'm going to do in the future. But for right now, this was just easier.